I was scrolling through my library of digital games on the old PlayStation. Pretty sure by default they're sorted from most recently bought to least recently bought. At the very bottom was this old thing. Tattered, rusted, sprouting vines and covered in moss. I dusted it off and had that like... story time. 2015 I got my first PlayStation 4. The 2 years leading up to this I'd sold my Xbox 360 and reverted to a PlayStation 2, opting to revisit some old games from my then youth. I also got into a lot of 3DS stuff around this time. Needless to say, compared to PlayStation 4, these two systems' graphics are rudimentary to say the least. I begged my nana to get me a PlayStation and we went to Argos for my birthday. I got this bundle here. Comes with the 2016 Ratchet & Clank, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, and the actual Blu-ray for The Force Awakens. I still remember plugging it in and setting it up on a full HD TV. God, it was magical. I was in absolute awe when I booted up Ratchet & Clank. The attention to detail and the visual clarity. Even by modern standards, this game is still pretty fucking nice to look at. Plus, I'd just come off the back of playing PS2 games at 480i, so, you know, and now I'm playing this. It was fucking awesome. Platinumed it. Amazing. Great game, by the way. Then I was looking in the store and I came across this game. It was certainly very intriguing, it looked cool, it was very cheap. Subsequently, I ran downstairs and asked if I could have this game too. Now, granted, this game's graphics aren't quite as lavish as the modern Ratchet & Clank games, but there's a charm and flair to this visual style. You are Bud, botanical utility droid, and you've been dropped onto this nameless planet with the sole purpose of cultivating, jump-starting and researching the plant life. You jump on these little branches and control them yourself. They stretch out and you jab them into these glowing islands, which makes the main stalk of the star plant grow. There's a sense of freedom you get in this game due to the lack of hand-holding and the fact that you literally decide the direction the star plant grows in. Also a sense of progression too. You slowly unlock more mobility options which are essential here. To an external viewer, the game might seem clunky, but the movement and physics just aren't limited or restricted by any animations really. Literally everything, even the wriggling of Bud's limbs, are all physics-based. Hunting down and scanning everything, all the different flora, the random scattered animals. Like this little funky bastard. This little cunt. This little bastard keeps getting stuck under these rocks. It's almost like he finds enjoyment in watching you break your back or pulling the rocks off him. The visual oddities you'll find, such as this funky spazzing out. To me, it's quite charming, purely just because of the art style. The little beady looks in the animal's eyes, the little dodo birds. It's just fucking hilarious. Also, another highlight of this game, the sounds. They're just nice to listen to. Very relaxing. The bleeps and bloops, the overall soundscape. It's very low-key, but there's a subtle optimism to it that pushes you forward to grow the star plant. Collecting all the crystals is a blast too. There are 100 in total, and with your tracker thingy, it's easily enough done. I 100%ed this in like 3 hours. Once you have all the crystals, you unlock full flight, making it easy to zip around and do any last bits and bobs like scanning the animals and finding the remaining seeds and whatnot. You can admire the plant you've grown, all the different directions of the branches you drove. It's a short game, but a very charming one. Now, the successor. Grow Up is familiar, but distinct. It's a different planet, but you're still growing star plants. 3 different ones, actually. However, the primary objective this time around is collecting all the different ship parts, which you could do naturally just by exploring, or by using this cool spherical world map, which shows everything rendered in real time. Like if you zoom in, you can see crystals you have or haven't collected. Though it is kind of bizarre playing this directly after playing Grow Home. Going from full flight right back to just kind of slowly slogging around. Still, this isn't really a fault of this game. It's just a byproduct of playing one title after the other. Food for thought, I guess. You do have this copy and paste mechanic where you can scan pretty much any flora and then regenerate it wherever you please. Many of these thingy doodles have movement properties like they fling you up or forward. You also roam around and collect abilities. You do slowly regain your mobility from the first game, and then some. The flower and leaf power-ups from the first game become fully integrated into Bud's moveset, meaning you aren't hindered by these limited items that could potentially be damaged or lost during traversal. As soon as you unlock the glider and have some decent power in your thrusters, you basically have full flight. The momentum you can pick up, then the height you can gather just by going fast and then pulling up. The glider is better than just the straight flight from the first game, because it's not just boosting and floating, there's depth and momentum to consider. To me, it's just more enjoyable, it's far more engaging. Also, the world is bigger, there's more to explore, there are little platforming challenges scattered, so by all means, objectively, I guess this game is better than the first. Still, in my heart, I think the first game just holds a special place there. Because it's smaller, it's a little more tight-knit. Collecting all the crystals is a bit of a slog in Grow Up, especially when you're getting towards the back, like, 20 of the total 150. Yeah, you have your little tracker thingy still, but like, I don't know. So, objectively, Grow Up is the bigger, better game, but it's just like, not quite as perfectly encapsulated as the first one. Grow Home is this quaint, endearing game about the little robot that could. You're doing your best in a world where you are kinda isolated, but the little snippets of interaction you get, like with the bird, sheep, or the bull, they drive you forward. In comparison, Grow Up feels a lot more lonesome. There are little creatures dotted around, but because the world is so much bigger, they don't feel quite as substantial as they do in the first game. Grow Up really feels more like a mission or a quest compared to the bright, childlike adventure of the first game. Anyway, they're both amazing. I recommend them both wholeheartedly. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.